Hello, my name is Pleas Anderson with Mornings with Pleas. Thank you so much for clicking on this video on the subject of coping with change. Change seems to be underrated at times. I believe that sometimes we just go through life and a change here, change in relationships, change in jobs, change in situations of sorts. But I think sometimes it's underrated and we may not pay enough attention to the after effect of change. So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about a few things about how to cope with change. And then now, if you would like to have a more exhaustive experience in the conversation of coping with change, then you can also check out my podcast, the audio version, at Mornings with Pleas, the podcast. You can hear that on Spotify. You can hear it on Audible. Also, that if you want to be more so direct, you can also go to my website, morningswithpleas.com. And in that, I have listed all my other episodes. But I would appreciate you checking it out. And I hope that it is very helpful to you, because we all need help. We need help to get through these changes in life. I have help of my own. I'm wearing my black Superman t-shirt. Doesn't mean that I'm necessarily Superman. However, it's the Superman that lives in me. It's the Christ, the Son of the living God, who lives in me, and then it helps me through situations in life. So I appreciate you stopping by and checking out this subject, this topic of coping with change. Thank you so much. I pray that God bless your day. And I just want you to remember to keep looking up. This is Pleas. Thanks. I got someone who wants to be in the video with me chirping like this. So obviously, we're in a season of change. You can look back and you see the leaves back there. They're different colors and changes and of color, just because of the season of change and what we're in right now. And so we're in fall. Just coming out of summer, and then out of fall, then we'll be going into winter. And for some, winter is difficult. It leads to time where you can't get actually what you need as easily as you would be able to get it in summertime. So change. Maybe you've experienced change in such a way that is so difficult that it seems like there's not a lot of people who are really able to understand the magnitude of your change. And I get it. I've experienced change drastically, but my level of change may not be equal to your level of change, and vice versa. Yours may not be equal to mine. But when we're living in the moment that change is so overwhelming, then you tend to ask yourself, so what do I do with this magnitude of change? What do I do with all of this that has come into my life and has seemingly disrupted everything? And so I'm left with the weight or the aftermath of change, or the circumstance that has changed my life in such a way. So now I'm left with the magnitude of change. And so what do I do with all of that that's left over? How am I supposed to handle this drastic change? Scripturally, the word tells us that God doesn't put no more on us than we're able to bear. And I suppose to some that may be weighted, because we're like, you may be like, well, okay. I can't bear this right now. This is a lot, and I'm pretty weighted down with it. So then, if that's the case, and should you be a believer in God, then the next step would be then, so since this thing is so much weight, and the scripture, if you believe it, says that God won't put no more on you than you can bear. So then at the point of your limit of the weight, if you're a weight lifter, you lift so much weight and you max out and you can't lift anymore. That's your limit. And he can't put no more on you than you can bear. So then what he does is that you get to the point that is so much weight. You have to have an outlet. You have to have something that you can release, where you can say, okay, God, I can't handle any more of this. Can you help me with this weight? If change has taken you to this or brought you to this point where it's so much weight where you can't handle, strangely enough to some, you're in a good place, because then that's when you can really get help, because then you're not in a place where you're not at the point where you say that I can do everything on my own. I can handle it, But change brings you to a point where you decide, where you understand, I need help. So as we walk down this road of life and we see the changes that are in front of us, see the leaves and the colors and how they're changing. And then, of course, down this road of life that we're walking, sometimes you don't see help. Sometimes you don't see anyone there, but you're yet walking down this road and you see all the change that's in front of you. Change is not meant to be overwhelming. Change is not meant to destroy you. Change is not meant to push you down so far where you can't get up. It's the nature of our lives, it's change. Change begins at the point of your decision. The point when you decide that you want to change. When you've had enough, when you've decided that I want to change, I want something different. You're capable of something different. You're capable of greater. It doesn't have to be the same, doesn't have to always. You don't always have to do the same thing for the rest of your life. You're capable of so much more.